Hello friends, I think we're back. So, sorry about that. It seemed like the broadcast dropped out. Sometimes it does that. But I think we're back up and running, so let's give it here a second. Happy December. How was your Thanksgiving? Was it fun? Did you guys have a great time? So I was able to go to my sister's house in Indiana. The whole family, we met up there and had a good time. So as people are gathering and coming online here, let's talk about music for the holidays real quickly. So I've been trying out the different Pandora stations, and I think the traditional ones, I don't like them as much, but I also don't like the ones where the top 40 bands are on there playing all the time. So this one is, I think this one is Lady Gaga, but it has Tony Bennett in it. So it has kind of a good party feel to it, right? So we're going to make a couple of things, but I wanted to tease you guys with the top one, and which is Brown Sugared Sriracha Bacon. Sound pretty good? Yeah, it's delicious. So I got to tell you guys, I appreciate hearing from you. I can't believe how many of you guys stopped me on the street and asked me about what we're going to make. So it's kind of fun. So if you like this kind of stuff, throw up some likes. Tell me where you are also listening in from. We're gonna do this fast because I know the Thunder game is happening here in less than an hour, and you're gonna want to watch that. So, but this is something you might want to make because it takes about 30 minutes. Okay, you want to turn your oven 350 degrees. You want to start with some pretty thick cut bacon. Okay, it doesn't have to be super thick, but you don't want super thin. Sort of a medium cut. Of course, sriracha, brown sugar. And that's it for this recipe. It's easy, okay? So what I did was I took my pan and I lined it with aluminum foil. I'm going to spray some cooking spray on here because we don't want the bacon to stick, okay? So, and just take your bacon and put it on here, just lay it across. I'm just going to do a few pieces so you guys can kind of get an idea of how it goes. It's really easy. And here's the deal. So the very first time I ever had this, I was in Miami Beach, and we went into a bar, and at the bar they had these strips of bacon. So when you bake this in the oven, it doesn't crinkle up, it cooks flat, and so it stands straight up. You can put it in a jar, and people can just eat it. Okay, this is great to take to parties. It's great for your own party, so it's really fun. Okay, so we've got our bacon laid out here. We want to put sriracha on both sides, okay? Both sides of your bacon, but you're only going to brown sugar one side of it. I've got a little brush here. I like to just kind of brush it along the bacon like that, okay? You only brown sugar one side, and I'll tell you the reason why. If you brown sugar this side, when you flip it over, a lot of it falls off and it falls into the bottom of your pan, and it will burn in the oven, and it will make a smoking mess, and you don't want that. And it will set off your fire alarms and all of those things. I'm the king of setting off the fire alarm. I do it all the time here. I think my neighbors are like, well, there he goes again, setting off the fire alarms. So I'm just putting sriracha on both sides of these bacon, okay, like this. This is just your typical. It's not a flavored bacon. We're putting the flavor on it. So I brushed it off. Now for the brown sugar, all right? You want your oven to be 350 degrees, preheat it. So when I had this, I thought it was so good and such a fun idea. And so last year, I was having a brunch, a holiday brunch, right? And so I wanted to make this bacon. I knew you made it in the oven, and so I thought, well, what could I put on it? The brown sugar is really good, and I thought, well, I'll just add sriracha to it and see what it does. And what's really cool about it is the sriracha somehow mellows out, and it's not super hot. It's really pretty nice. I appreciate you guys commenting. I want to read what you have to say here. When I finish this up, I'll get a little closer. It's a little hard for me to read it from the distance. But I want to know what you think. I want to know if there's anything you'd like to make in particular. You know, a lot of times I like to make the things that I'm eating, but since it's the holidays, we made a lot of sides for Thanksgiving. I'm kind of going through right now and making some party themed things that you can think of. I mean, I'm telling you, this works for your party. You can take it to a party. You can wrap this up and take it as a gift when you get there, and your host or hostess can lay it out, or they can keep it for themselves. They're probably going to want to keep it for themselves because it's really good. So there we go. Let me see if I can get this a little closer. So your bacon, sriracha on both sides, flip it over, brown sugar on one, and be generous with the brown sugar, okay? Be generous with it. Oven, 350 degrees, preheated. Pop it in. It's going to take about 25-30 minutes, and you want to cook it to the point that it's crispy, okay? So when you kind of pick it up a little, when you get in there and kind of move it around, it's going to be sturdy. It's not going to be flippy-floppy and wishy-washy and all of those things, okay? That's all there is to that. We're going to let it cook here for a minute, and we'll see how it goes. It takes about 20 or 30 minutes, and don't worry, I have some already ready that I'm going to show you in just a second, okay? So actually, let me just go ahead and show it to you. That way, if you're just interested in this, you'll see it, okay? So you cook it 20, 30 minutes, and this is what comes out, okay? Is lovely, lovely bacon like this, okay? And your guests can just pull it out. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, right? So that looks good, right? You just take a bite. That brown sugar is so good. Just a little bit of heat from the sriracha. You're going to love it, okay? Try it out. It's easy to make, simple. So there, if this is the only thing you want to see, you're good to go. You guys can roll on. The next thing we're going to make is just another little appetizer. And let me just rinse off my hands real quick. All right, so there we go. Get this towel. So the next thing we're going to make is just a cracker, and it sounds fancy. It's not fancy. You can tell people it's fancy if you want. That bacon brown sugar, they're going to think you did something. I mean, they'll be over the moon with this, okay? They'll love it. This one is one that I made for my party last year. I saw it in a magazine, and I thought it looked nice, so I thought I'll make it. I thought it was fine, and everybody just went nuts over it. So I'll show you how to do it. It's easy. So the only place I've been able to find this is at Trader Joe's. These are pistachio pomegranate crisps. Pistachio pomegranate crisps. They come in a pink box. This is what they look like. Okay? They're just little crackers like this, and they have pistachios, and they have pomegranates in them and things like that. So you guys like this? That look good? It's pretty tasty. All right, so you want to just lay out some of these crackers like this, okay? On your plate, very easy to do. And you want to get brie. So somebody was asking me, where do you get brie? I think you can buy brie just about at any grocery store. It's really not that fancy. It's not. I mean, this slice of brie was $3.50. Okay, so it's not expensive, and it's tasty. Okay, so let me just put it down here. We'll just cut on our board. So you just want to cut off a little slice like this. And what's nice about this is really about the size of the cracker. Okay, so you just take it off like this. It's a little sticky, so allow time to make something like this. It takes longer than you think. So you go ahead and put the brie on. Easy, right? Let's do a couple of these. And then we're going to slice up our pomegranate, and I'll show you how to do that because you can buy it already seeded, or you can buy a regular pomegranate and do it yourself. So there are a couple of them. We've got that part ready. So here's an easy way to make sure have you ever popped one of these pomegranate out of the little seeds out? It's not exactly the easiest thing in the world. So they can go all over the place. So slice it like this, okay, kind of down the middle. Get a bowl, put water in it. I saw this on TV. And then a little strainer, okay? And then you just take your pomegranate, put it down in the water, okay? And you just move these around in here, and the seeds just pop out of them. So don't be intimidated by a pomegranate. It's not that big of a deal, okay? They look like little popcorn or corn on the cob kernels is what it looks like when you got them all done, okay? And you just take them and pop them out. When you cut this open, you see it's full of seeds. It's full of seeds. And so this keeps it from going all over the place. And they also are they're red and they can get all over you. So this kind of helps you out a little bit. So you just do it like that. And then you take your shell and pull it out. Okay. And then you just drain these out a little bit. I'll move this over. Pomegranate seeds, they're little red seeds. Easy to do. So let me show you what they look like. Okay. Can you see? They've just popped out there. I'm going to put them on a towel just a little bit and dry them out. How was your Thanksgiving? Did everybody have fun? Everybody do anything? You got a lot of holiday parties to go to? So if you're just tuning into this, we have made brown sugar sriracha bacon. It's in the oven cooking. I showed you guys a little bit of it a minute ago, and I'll show it to you again. And now we're making crackers, little crisps, with brie and pomegranates. So here's our cracker, which I told you I got from Trader Joe's, which is pistachio pomegranates. I think they only have them at Christmas time. So we did our cracker, our slice of brie, and then you just put a couple of these on here. And people think you did something. This is it. Okay? This is not hard. And it makes a nice little party appetizer if you're having a brunch, something like that. So when I did my brunch last year, it was kind of the first time I had ever done this. I invited, I think, 70 people. Here's the thing, when you have a party, you invite about twice as many as you think is going to show up. I anticipated about 40 people, and about 40 people showed up. But I got up that morning about 5 o'clock, maybe 4:30, and started making all of these things. Because brunch sounds simple until you try to do it, and then you're like, man, it takes a lot of things. And it takes a lot of time to put together little brie crackers. I was ready to kill myself. I was like, come on, this is terrible. So anyway, that's how they look, right? How's that? So, Vicki, what can you use? You're allergic to pomegranates? You could use whatever you like. Maybe some dried orange slices or something small like that, So here, let me take a bite. It is really good. If you've never had pomegranates, kind of pop in your mouth. So you kind of get that flavor and that brie. Don't be intimidated by the brie. You don't have to heat it up. None of that stuff. You serve it room temperature. You cut it, put it on there. That's pretty good stuff. I'm not going to lie. All right, guys. What time is it? Almost 20 after. That's what we're making today. I think maybe next time we're going to make one of the biggest hits of that party last year was homemade hot chocolate. Yeah, it was pretty great. And we're going to make something else. I don't know what we'll make. We'll figure it out. I'm going to move up here a little bit. Let's talk. Let's look at what you guys are asking me. Weta wants to know if I'm pressing the seeds. Yeah, you can press the seeds just a little bit into the brie. So do you have to use brie? You don't have to use brie. If you find another cracker that you like and a cheese that you like, do it. Why not? Brie, if you've never had it, it's very smooth and creamy. I used to not like it, but I think it's pretty good now. I think sometimes your taste buds change a little bit. Darlene, how are you doing? Dawn, how are you doing? Let me show you guys the bacon one more time. We've kind of made both of our things. So, look. This is our brown sugar sriracha bacon. Yum. And our crackers and brie. Okay? With pomegranates on top. All right? Good stuff. Easy for a party, that kind of stuff. Thanks, Dawn. So I want to know if you guys like seeing this sort of stuff. Give me some likes. It's helpful for me to know if it's worth it for me to do this. I enjoy doing it. I appreciate so many of you guys have asked me on the streets about it. You say, "What are you cooking this week? What are you cooking again?" I want to know. So, and 5 o'clock on Sunday seems to be a pretty good time to do it. It's just usually before the Thunder games and things like that. So, and I try to make it 20 minutes so we can be in and out and you guys can get on your way with it. So, but next week, should we do it next week? You guys want to meet back next week? Throw up some likes if you want to meet next week. Meet next week and we can do, let me look here. Have I always liked to cook or did I starve as a college student? I've talked about this before. So I really didn't, I don't know, when I started cooking, I was working in Jacksonville, Florida. I was doing a morning show and I started watching Rachel Ray on television. And I used to think I would be laying there just dead asleep at like 2 p.m. because you work this weird shift. And I would see her make this food and I would think, I can do that. And at that time I was eating like just junk, fast food and all of those kinds of things. And I thought, I can do this. And I will tell you, if you start making your own food and kind of planning out your menus and things like that, it never occurs to me to go to a drive-in. It never even crosses my mind, ever. I either bring my lunch or I'm able to slip home and have something during work. And, if you start making your own food, you don't want to go and wait in a line, pay money for something that is just okay, And if you can start freezing things, you'll love it. If you guys like to look at these things, good, the couch people are here. So if you guys need any couches, we have a lot of couch people that get on our feeds, which is fine with us. You guys can use this as your venue if you like. It doesn't matter to me. But, I just want to tell you guys how we can have some fun in the kitchen, kind of hanging out on my day off and enjoying the weekend and that sort of stuff because it's really nice outside. So yeah, Dawn, if you can freeze your stuff, so many things are freezable. And how many times do you heat up a frozen meal? All the time at work. You make your own, and then the portion is bigger because they're always too small, and they're just better, Even things you wouldn't think freeze. It's easy to do, and you have instant dinner, and really it hardly costs you anything because it's usually leftovers, right? So, I'm just looking what you guys have to say. You guys have any questions at all? So you guys, you're looking, yeah. So, again, this stuff is easy to do. I think next week I had it in my head what I was going to make for you guys, and I gotta remember what it is. But one of it is hot chocolate, like homemade hot chocolate on the stove. I'm not talking about open the powder kind and add water, which is fine. I think that stuff is fine. As a matter of fact, I served this at this brunch last year, and about 20 minutes before, I couldn't find my milk. I couldn't find the milk, and I thought I had forgotten milk. So I run up to Trader Joe's. The party starts in like literally